must be the biggest challenge.
Right. So, a lot of these kids they're very picky eaters.
Yes.
There's so certain foods. It's a lot of sensory stuff. So part of your job as a practitioner is to figure out, are there barriers for them trying new foods? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So an example would be zinc. With zinc deficiency, things don't taste the way they're supposed to. How you feel about broccoli is not how they're going to feel about broccoli. Repairing those nutritional deficiencies can improve the palate and make them more likely to try new foods. The other thing is, if you have brain inflammation because your gut's messed up, or you have chronic infection, or, PANS type syndromes, you're just going to be agitated. I'm going to say black, you're going to say white, just because you're agitated. So we get that calm down. Kids, I always hate using the word compliant, but they're going to be more compliant, right? And then the important thing is, you have to understand that processed food is heroin. It just is heroin. You have to look at it that way. All my kid wants is Fruit Loops. All right. Well, if all your kid wanted was heroin, would you go out and buy it for him and shoot him up? Of course not. You have to be looking at food that way. What you need is real food. And sometimes you have to sit it out, as mean as it sounds. Right? Sometimes you have to let the kid withdraw from the sugar, withdraw from the processed foods. How long is that going to take? It's like a heroin addict, 5 to 6 days. The trouble is the kid will stop eating and the parent will cave in 12 hours. The kid won't.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, but it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because trying to get a diversity in, you want peace. I mean, there's something about peace within the household, relatively speaking. Because low blood sugar doesn't always bring out the best in a kid.
No. And again, if you don't have the stuff available, it's like, with kids, it's like, I want Kool-Aid. Okay, well, we have fresh orange juice, we have water, and we have grape juice. Those are your choices. I want Kool-Aid. Well, here's your choices. Give the kid a choice, but it ain't going to be Kool-Aid. Right. And the more you start moving them away from those kinds of foods, the more diverse their diet's going to become. It's not easy. I don't want to pretend like this is a piece of cake. It's not. The other things you can do, depending on where the kid is at developmentally, where they're at from a neurodevelopmental point of view, is get them involved with the food prep. You get a kid involved with making a salad or, making dinner or making dessert, whatever it is, they're much more likely to have an interest in at least trying it. Now, they may not like it, but at least they're going to try it, right? So, that's also part of it. Food needs to be a core of the kitchen, and again, when I was a kid, we had McDonald's, we had Lay's potato chips, we had all the, packaged foods, but they weren't the garbage that they are now. They are designed to be addictive for everybody, not just for kids, but for everybody. And you always want to look at those foods as heroin. My child is addicted to heroin. It may be a potato chip, it may be a French fry, it may be a fast food hamburger, but they're addicted to heroin. What am I going to do about that? Right? So offer alternatives, but sometimes, it's tough love, cold turkey. We have to break the habit. So,
so we have to be persistent, but we also have to be patient.
Right. And also, this is a big part of why we supplement. Because when you are eating, chicken McNuggets and French fries and fruit roll-ups and, just really garbage foods that have no nutritional value, you're going to get deficient in everything. Right. So it's really important with these kids that early on you start with a good nutritional supplement that's going to cover all the things that they're missing. Because I'm telling you, the better their nutrition, the better that food is going to taste and look, the less agitated they're going to be, the better their gut is going to be, and the more likely they are to try something. Right. Because that's really what you need. And then you figure out what they like. Okay, they like carrots. They don't like broccoli. All right, let's not do broccoli. Right? How about cauliflower? How about Brussels sprouts? How about, cabbage? I mean, you just want to find out what they like to add it into their diet. It's not easy, but you also want to remember parents have recovered their children on the autism spectrum simply by giving them real food.